guys, I hope you're having a great day. Today in science we are going to be looking at some of the cooking tools that you found in your kitchen while you were doing your scavenger hunt earlier this week. So we're going to go tool by tool and we're going to be talking about today what is their function. So by the end of today you will be able to identify kitchen tools, you're going to identify their functions, and you're going to demonstrate how to use them in your kitchen. This is important because when you have all of these tools and equipment in front of you at your home, you need to be able to use them so that you can work independently in the kitchen and that you can make food for yourself. The first tool that we're going to be looking at today is a pair of tongs. Okay, we have used tongs in our kitchen at school, and I think that since you've used them, you're familiar with them, but you might not know exactly what their function is. So we're going to talk about that right now. Tongs, they usually come like this and they're closed, but then if you push this tab in, then they open up. So when you put your two fingers together, they make a pinching motion, and this helps you pick up food. This is a sweet potato that I'm using for this lesson, but tongs help you pick up food. All right, our next tool that we have is a can opener. We have definitely used a can opener in our class, and we've each taken some turns on pushing our can opener down and then using this to turn our can opener. But when you use this on a can, remember that first thing that you hear, you have to push really hard and you hear that kind of pop, and that lets you know that you cut into metal, and then you take this little knob and you turn it to help go around the can, and then that will make a cut along the edge of the can, and it opens it up so that you can get the beans inside or the veggies inside, or whatever is inside, soup, whatever is inside your can. So a can opener helps you open a can, given the name, can opener. The next tool that we have is a grater. So we have bought shredded cheese before, but we actually haven't used a grater in our classroom. So I thought that this might be good practice. I don't have anything to grate right now, but if you look at a grater, there are all of these holes right here, and what happens is that these kind of have sharp edges, so you don't want to touch them. Miss Martinez, my hand is just like hovering over it, I'm not touching it, but what happens is when you take food, let's pretend this is cheese, and you move along those holes, it actually takes your larger item. I usually use cheese for a grater. So you take a larger piece of cheese and you move it across the little circles, the little holes, and it turns it into smaller pieces. So you grate it, and it takes a bigger object and it makes it smaller. So this is how you get like shredded cheese, which we've used to make a quesadilla. We've used it to make tacos before. You can use shredded cheese for a lot of different things, but that is what a grater does. It takes larger food and it helps make it smaller. Our next tool that we have is a peeler. And a peeler, it kind of works the same way as a grater, but it has a different purpose. So a peeler is to take the peel off of a food. So I have a sweet potato here, and you usually don't eat the outside of a sweet potato. That's not the tasty part. So you take your your peeler, and you go along the edge, and you can see it takes the peel away. So you might use a peeler for apples when you're making apple pie. You might use a peeler for cucumbers if you're having a snack or a salad. You can use a peeler for a potato if you're making mashed potatoes, or just a baked sweet potato. But that is what a peeler does. It takes the peel away. So it has this sharper edge. So again, your fingers shouldn't go on that side. It shouldn't touch it. And you just push down, and it takes that sharper edge and it cuts a very small thin layer or the peel off of your food. So that is what a peeler does. Our next tool that we have is a knife. So everybody's familiar with this. We've used knives in our classroom before. This is a butter knife, but you can do a lot of things. You can cut up a cucumber with it. You can cut up pieces of an apple with this. You can cut up a banana. So really great for doing snacks. And then if you're preparing like a meal, you might need a larger knife, and that's where mom and dad can help, or older brother or older sister can help you use one of the larger, sharper knives. But a knife, we know it is used to cut food. So you usually have your food right here, and then you press down, and our food goes from larger pieces into smaller pieces, and we cut our food. Our next item is a whisk. So a whisk is usually used when you have a bowl with it. And let's say that I had some yummy like cake batter in here. I could take a whisk and you stir it, and it helps mix up your ingredients. So it has all of these little wiry parts, and when you use it in a motion like this to stir or to mix up, then it helps bring all of the ingredients together, and it mixes our ingredients together. Our next tool is a spatula. So a spatula is flat. It always has a flat part, and then the handle usually goes up to make it easy to hold. But what you use a spatula for is to go underneath food and then to pick it up. So I can't really use the sweet potato for that, but if I had maybe a cookie here, or we've made pizzas in our classroom, or even when we made our breakfast sandwiches in our class, a spatula is a great way to get under food, and you just kind of like push it underneath, and it scrapes underneath, and then you can pick up whatever your food is. So a spatula is great to pick up food. Our next tool is a rubber scraper. This is one of my favorite things to use in the kitchen because it helps you not waste anything. So again, let's say that I had some really yummy cake batter in here, and I had poured it into our little pans to make cake, but then there's all this extra. There's usually stuff that sticks to the side of the bowl. So a rubber scraper is great because you can go right along the edge of it and push it down, and then it will help you collect all of your food. So a rubber scraper helps you scrape your ingredients, scrape your food off of whatever like pan or bowl or dish that you're using. And then we have two more tools that we're going to be looking at today. We have a cutting board, which the knife and the cutting board usually always go together. So this is to help keep, like, it wouldn't be safe for me to cut food on my countertop because that's not clean. And even though the countertop itself is clean, we don't want to put like chicken, or we don't want to put things that we're cooking, because that's how we make a really big mess. So a cutting board goes when you're cutting food. So the knife is able to touch the cutting board, and it's not going to scratch it, and it's not going to, the food isn't going to leave a mess. So a cutting board is to cut food. The knife goes with the cutting board. And then our last tool that we're going to be looking at today is a measuring cup. So we used a measuring cup when we made the homemade granola, if you tried that recipe at home. But a measuring cup helps you measure ingredients. So if I say I need a cup of sugar, well, how much is that? You don't want to take your sugar and just pour it in here, because that might be too much or too little. So a measuring cup helps you fill the exact amount. So you would pour your sugar in, and then you would make sure that it is level with the cup, and it is just the amount that is asked, and then you can add it to your ingredients, to your recipe. All right, so we looked at 10 different kitchen tools today, and now guys, I have an activity that's attached to the newsletter for you to take some time and see the word of which kitchen tool it is, and then to match it to what is its function. So this will help us grow independence in the kitchen and help us become more familiar with what is in our kitchen and how to use it. And I also encourage you guys to take some time in your kitchen and maybe practice how to use these things. Practice filling up a cup, because I know sometimes it's like, well, is this full? is this full? No, we need our cup to be all the way full. So it's really important to practice how to use these kitchen tools. So practice measuring a cup, practice peeling if you have anything to peel, practice grating if maybe you have some cheese. You can use this to grate. Practice pinching and picking up food with your tongs. And this is an easy one that I know a lot of you guys will be good at, is practice mixing up food with your whisk, okay? So take some time today and work on that activity to match the kitchen tool to the function, and practice demonstrating how to use these tools in your own kitchen. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day.